Well, good evening, everybody. I hope that you're all doing well tonight. I am here with my new friend, my new companion. His name is Tigger, and Tigger is an old tomcat. Well, he's not old. He's actually pretty young. He's a young fella. And you notice he's got a tipped ear. That means that he is a rescue cat. He is the sweetest cat that I have known other than my little Taco cat that I love so dearly. You may have seen some videos of Taco. I know you've seen Taco if you're on my wife's Facebook. But this is Tigger. Say hi, everybody. Say hi, Tigger. I think he wants to get down, so I'm going to let him down. He is a big strong boy, and um he will. Hey, CG Anime fan, how are you? Hey, Gumball Gold, welcome in. Good to see y'all on here tonight. Yeah, he's a good cat. He's just been living here at headquarters for about 3 days. Well, take that back, about a week now. He has been moved into headquarters since I got back from my trip to Pennsylvania and then to Chicago. If you saw my trip to Pennsylvania, um, I've already put out one video, and this week I'll be putting out another video where we went to a smorgasbord there in smorgasbord there in Pennsylvania near Lancaster. Actually, it was in Lancaster. So yeah, Tigger is, I guess he's going to sit in my lap for the whole show. He may get bored and decide he needs to go somewhere else. But he's definitely going to have to get down when I start talking about my eBay store and going through my numbers. But he is just a real lovey cat. He's a sweet cat, and he was getting in a little bit of trouble at my wife's rescue house that she has for them. Welcome, Gumball Gold. Jim, good to see you on here tonight. Welcome to Renee and Todd, the Rat's Stash. Good to see you guys on here tonight. This is Tigger with a tipped ear. So Tigger has been rescued, and that means the tipped ear means that he has been taken to the vet and that he has been fixed. Now he's going to rub up against my microphone because he can. He is just, he was getting in a little bit of trouble over at the house where, he's pushing on the microphone, where he was in there with some more cats, and he was kind of a bully. He was kind of bullying the other cats. And then Carol, my wife, would let him go out in the yard. He liked to go outside and frolic in the yard, but he was harassing the other neighborhood cats. And so the neighbor said he was going to take him to the pound, or to the pound if my wife didn't do something about him attacking the other neighborhood cats. So we decided to bring him up here to headquarters, and so he's up here, and this is his new home. So he's gonna live here. He's getting down now. Okay. All right. So Gumball Gold says to Rat Stash, Pennsylvania went red. I told you the Amish were fed up. I saw that video about the Amish. I wasn't real when you mentioned it in our live stream before. I wasn't real sure I believed that was true, but I saw that video of the Amish, and they were talking about voting for Trump, and so that's one thing that Renee and Todd, they live up there in Pennsylvania, close to Amish country. We actually visited Amish country when I was up there, and I actually got to see some Amish. I didn't speak to any, but I got to see some. And so, yep, don't piss off the Dutchies. So it was nice going up there to Lancaster and seeing the Amish. I didn't see any Trump signs when I was up there. I'm not sure where the guy that did the video where exactly he went, and I know it was in Lancaster because he said it was in Lancaster, but I didn't see any signs when we were there. Marty says, "Hey, welcome in, Marty. Good to see you in here tonight." Brent Mania, looks like we got the whole crew tonight. Brent Mania, welcome in. It's going good. How's it going with you? Oh, you posted your first YouTube video. Great. I need to go to your channel and I think I'm already subscribed to your channel, but I need to go on there and watch that video. I haven't seen it. Hopefully all is doing well. I think everybody is doing well tonight. It's good to see everybody. If you've been watching my channel the last couple of weeks, you know that I've been on the road. I went to Pennsylvania and spent some time with my friends Renee and Todd. We had 3 glorious days and one really glorious evening where we had pork and we had sauerkraut. It was so good, delicious, and Todd made the shoe fly pie, which was also delicious. I had to have 2 pieces. Oh, at Brent. Okay, so Renee and Todd are going to watch your video as well, Brent. So that's all you got to do is just get started. Good to see you, Badlands Bandit. Good to see you on here tonight. Hope you are doing well. Next week, actually Tuesday, I'll be putting out another video where we go to the smorgasbord, and I'm also going to have some Amish folks on there because we were in Lancaster and we were able to video some Amish people working in the fields, and took a couple of pictures of the barns where they had the tobacco hung, and it was just real interesting. And we actually visited an Amish grocery store while we were there, and it was kind of like a Walmart of the Amish because they had a grocery store, they had clothing goods and all kinds of items. They even had the Amish style hats and clothing that you could buy. And Renee, I don't know if you kept that picture of me with the Amish hat on, but if you can send that to me, I'd appreciate it so I could put it in my video. But she put an Amish hat on my head and and took a picture of me. So yeah, we had a great time. Goods department. We had a great time, and then I went to Chicago, and my son Justin, he may be on here tonight. I don't know if he's going to be on here or not, but he took me around Chicago. We went to downtown Chicago. I rode the L, the elevated train. That's why it's called the L. I never knew that till I got there and found out that it's called the L because it's an elevated train. It's not a subway underground like in New York City. So I took the L into downtown Chicago, and we went down there. We saw the Bean. I don't know if you're familiar with the Bean, but it's a huge sculpture in the middle of downtown Chicago in Bicentennial Park. I think it's Millennial Park is what it's called, in Millennial Park. And that'll be on one of my future coming videos. Probably not this week, but the week after that are going to be my Chicago videos. We had some deep dish pizza, real Chicago pizza. It was really great. And we had the Chicago dogs. We went to a famous restaurant there in Chicago, and we had Chicago dogs. So I'll be putting that video out not this week, but next week. So glad you're watching and doing dishes at the same time, Brent. Good to see you on here. And Marty says, what are you doing tomorrow? Well, it's funny that you should ask that, Marty, because tomorrow is Veterans Day. So I want to thank all the veterans out there, of which I am one, for serving your country. And we appreciate the fact that you served your country and made sure that we were protected. And so tomorrow there are several places that are doing freebies if you're a veteran. Also, my friend Todd is a Navy veteran, so thank you, Todd, for your service to the country. And if there are any other veterans on here, please shout out and let me know so that I can give you a shout out and give you the appreciation that you are due for being a veteran. But tomorrow we're going to start the day at Shoney's restaurant. Do you all still have Shoney's? I know a lot of the Shoney's got shut down, but we're going to start our day tomorrow at Shoney's restaurant, where they have free breakfast for veterans. And the Shoney's breakfast, if you've never been to a Shoney's, or if you've never had Shoney's breakfast, oh my goodness, it is one of the best breakfasts you can ever have. There's everything. It's like a smorgasbord of breakfast items. Welcome, Dash. Good to see you on here. I'll tell you one thing I'm not doing tomorrow. That's going to the post office. Yep, I'm not going to the post office tomorrow either, because I will be probably packing the items that I sold over the weekend. I sold 10 items over the weekend and over $530 in sales just today. It was an amazing day. I was really happy with that. But getting back to what I'm doing tomorrow, thank you, Todd, and everyone else who served, and my mom's father, who was a World War II veteran. Oh, that's great. Happy Veterans Day to all veterans, says Badlands Bandit. Todd speaking. Thank you, Sam, and thank you for serving. Well, it was my pleasure to serve. I did 20 years in the Air Force, and not a day longer. CG Anime Fan says his grandfather was a better role model and mentor. And Gumball Gold says, I've been selling my 25-cent mechs on eBay after replacing them with 50-cent mechs. Thank God for eBay, because I've spent over $1,000 updating. So far, recouped half my $1,000. Okay, well, as long as you got half of your $1,000 back, I guess that's what really matters, huh? So we're going to start the day off at Shoney's, going to have Shoney's breakfast, and they have a wonderful breakfast, as I mentioned. Then we're going to, there's a place called Chicken Salad Chick here in Montgomery, and I think it's a local owner that has it, but the chicken salad is just the best chicken salad I have ever had. And we're going to go to Chicken Salad Chick and get their free chicken salad sandwiches. They give them for veterans. And then for dinner, we haven't decided yet whether we're going to go to Roadhouse. Roadhouse usually offers free dinner, but my wife, Carol, said that they have changed now. They're not doing the free dinners anymore at Texas Roadhouse for veterans, that they're just doing a side, like a entree. If you want, not, what is it called? The oh, y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, the hors d'oeuvre. Anyway, you know what I'm talking about. So, Texas Roadhouse is apparently not doing that anymore, but the Outback has a free blooming onion that you can get, or an appetizer. That's the word I was looking for, an appetizer. And so we're going to go to Applebee's. Applebee's is still doing the free steak for veterans, so we'll go there for dinner. So we've got breakfast, lunch, and dinner all figured out, and all of it is free because I'm a veteran. So if you're a veteran, or if you know a veteran, y'all go check out the internet and see what's free. Brent says the Shoney's around him got shut down, never had a chance to try them. Well, you have really missed out, because Shoney's was wonderful. I think Shoney's was just mainly in the South, but I'm not sure if it was in the North or not. Jim from Gumball Gold said they have a chicken salad chick in Oxford. Okay. Yeah, appetizer. Thank you. Gumball Gold, but Chick won't let me locate a gumball machine there. Well, maybe we need to talk to him about that, because everybody needs to have a gumball machine. Everybody. No one needs to be without a gumball machine. Brent says, I don't have much to say, so I'll just watch. Well, you have something to say. I want to hear about your video. What is it about? What is your video about? What is your first video about? So, so we're going to go ahead and we're going to talk a little bit about the election. I know you all watched the election, and we all know that Donald Trump is going to be our 47th president, and Pennsylvania did go red, which I was kind of surprised. Some of the states that were typically blue have now kind of shifted, and now they're red, which is kind of telling about the last 4 years or 3.5 years, that people have, are not happy with the way our country has gone in the last 4 years. Some of those things that Trump really made the topic of his campaign was immigration. Immigration has been a big issue because a lot of these towns, a lot of these cities are being made sanctuary cities when the people in the cities didn't agree to be sanctuary cities. But somehow they ended up having all these immigrants shipped to them, and just you're going to have to deal with them now. I know Ohio has dealt with it a lot. I hope they were not really eating cats and dogs, but it made the presidential debate, so that made news. Brent says his video is just a 5-minute video about the autographs that are hung up on his wall. Okay, cool. And Renee is super happy about being able to say that her state has gone red this election cycle. So, what are the next 4 years going to look like? We don't know. I think that there are going to be some real big changes with Border Patrol and with immigration. And I think that Donald Trump is going to really crack down on immigration. There aren't going to be any more sanctuary cities. The people that are here illegally are going to be escorted to the door. Brent says he voted for Kamala Harris, but Trump won. It is what it is. I'm glad politics are not going to be on commercials for a long time now. I hear you, Brent. I am so sick of politics right now. But it's something we have to go through every 4 years, and actually, it's every 2 years, because your state elections are, at least ours, are being held in the after 2 years of the presidential election. Our state elections are held. So in another 2 years, we'll be having state elections, and so everything will be changing around in our state. So some of the things I think that we're going to be seeing, I think the economy is going to be improving, and I don't think that's only due to Trump. I think it's because people are more optimistic about the economy. They feel like Trump will do a better job as president to improve our standing in the world financially. And so I've already seen, if you've been watching the stock market, the stock market has already jumped about 3 or 4 points since Donald Trump was elected president. So that tells you right now that that's one of the things that can happen. So how to say this? I don't get how a person who found guilty on 34 felonies can be president, but they don't. But hey, I don't understand politics. I didn't know you could be president with felonies on your record, but apparently you can. Brent Mania, are you going to shave your head in protest? Let's keep this civil, okay, guys? It's called lawfare. They use the law to convict their political opposition. You watch too much. Okay. Shave my head in protest. What Trump won, I respect that he won, and I'm not the kind of person that's uptight about it. Okay, it is what it is. It is what it is. And you know what? We're all Americans. And one of the things that Trump said at the after he was already elected, or very close to being elected with the electoral votes, is he said he wants our country to come together as one country and united. And that means all parties coming together, all races coming together, and all people coming together for one common purpose, and that is to make America great again. Not like Gumball Gold, who wants to make American gumballs great again. That's a different kind of MAGA. That's two G's. And I totally respect your opinion, Jim, on MAGA and making American gumballs great again. I think American gumballs should have never declined because, I mean, who doesn't want a big fat juicy gumball to chew on, right? So politics tend to make things feel divided. So I feel like sharing that I care about everybody, regardless of what your politics are. Thank you, CG Anime Fan, and I agree. We may not always agree on politics and who should be president, or that's why I try to leave politics out of conversation a lot, because it tends politics and religion. They always say, don't talk about politics or religion at the dinner table when you've got family together, and we're all family, right? But this is something that we do need to talk about sometimes, because this is something that is going to affect us all, and we all do need to come together as a country and as brothers and sisters and friends and a community. We're a community, right? I think we are. I feel like we're a community. So let's all come together as a community and just we're going to have to accept that Trump is the president for the next 4 years. So we just have to move forward. I mean, we had to accept that Biden was our president, and God bless him. I hope that he is able to get the care that he needs. Okay. Gumball Gold, no more of that. That's uncalled for. I just feel like we're so divided as a country. CG said, I agree. And, you can blame Trump. You can blame whoever at the end of the day. I think we all need to work as one to make America better. I agree. Reselling with Woody. Good to see you on here, man. I'm so glad to have you on my channel. Reselling with Woody came over here from my friend Chad, Wolfman's Treasures. He's a regular on Chad's live stream every Sunday. Chad calls it Sunday Night Live. So welcome, Woody. Good to have you on here. Gumball Gold. I will never accept people that allow the. Okay, never mind. Dallas flipping. Cry more. Okay. Let's be nice, folks. Okay. All right. I'm going to get into talking about my eBay store. So we're gonna start like I always do and kind of give you an overview of how well the store is doing recently. While I was gone, I saw a slight decline in my sales, but I think that had to do. I was listing. Actually, I bought stuff when I was in Pennsylvania, and I was actually listing the stuff that I bought when I was in Pennsylvania. And so I was continuously listing every day on my thank you, Renee. I was listing the whole time that we were gone, and so I was still keeping my five items a day, getting my listings done while I was in my van. I actually had an overhead light in my van, so I was able to put a light onto the items that I was listing, and I was able to do my listings in my van, which I thought was pretty cool that I was able to do that. I actually brought a whole box of music CDs with me so I could list those if I didn't have anything else to list while I was on the road. And I had I listed probably about 30 of those CDs while I was on the road, and so I was able to keep my listings up. But part of the eBay algorithm, if you all are, for those of you who are selling on eBay, is that it not only looks at if you're listing every day, but it also looks at other things like, are you shipping out your items? And I think that really affects your algorithm when you're selling items, but you're not mailing them out immediately. I think it really helps your algorithm when you when you have 1 day shipping, and I know that helps your algorithm when you have 1 day shipping and you're shipping your items out as soon as they are sold. So anyway, I was able to keep listing, so that allowed me to continue to have sales while I was on the road. But at the same time, it slowed down a little bit because I think it had to do with the fact that I wasn't actually shipping out my items. But anyway, this is what my sales have looked like for the last 31 days, between October 11th of last month and November 10th. So I've kind of made my goal of 5,000 a month, or 5,000 every 31 days. So my goal is 5,000 a month. So I've done $5,449.01 in the last 31 days. $350 of that was taxes and fees, and then 1,590 of that was selling costs, which eBay collected. So that was 29.2% of my total sales. My net sales were $3,507.26. So the quantity that was sold was 70 items. Average sales price per item was $77.84. And the amount that was sold via fixed price was $5,449.01. So that means that I did not have anything that would that means I did not have anything that sold via auction. I haven't done any auctions this month. Reselling with Woody says, if you don't list on eBay, sales will slow down. Fact. Absolutely. I agree 100%. If you, my friend Dash with Dallas Flipping, who is on here, his famous saying is, the more you list, the more you sell. And that is so true. So you have to, and my friends, Renee and Todd are also seeing that they're listing more every day. They're listing. She's listing more than I am. And she's seen an increase in her sales. She said they have made $2,800 in the last 30 days. We are so excited for Sam's help. All I did was just share information with them about listing and how the number of items that you list have a direct impact on the amount of items that you sell. And tonight, Chad was talking on Wolfman's Goodies about how long it took him to go from being able to sell at least one item a day. He said it took 2 years. It didn't take me that long. When I first started selling about 3 years ago, I went to a yard sale and picked up a couple of items and then started listing them. But I didn't really get the whole thing about you. If you're a newbie, you're just starting with eBay, you usually don't know this, just coming out of the gate, that you have to list every day and be consistent about it. eBay wants to see you working your store, and that's not just listing. It's also giving feedback. You got to give that feedback. That eBay wants to see you give feedback. eBay wants to see you shipping your items quickly after the sale. So these are all things that I think will definitely affect your sales. Rat Stash says we're almost at 600 items, and I've been following Renee and Todd and their eBay store for a little while now, and their emphasis. They have a flea market. They have 4 booths. I think it's 4 booths at various flea markets in their area, and so they've been focusing on selling items in those booths in the flea markets, and they do pretty good. But they have also been selling on Whatnot. But I think Renee and Todd are realizing now that eBay can be a real cash cow if you start making that algorithm work for you. It really does work. So Gumball Gold says at Rat Stash, I will collect about that tomorrow from my machines. We had over 100,000 people come to town for a football game, and the rest rows were very busy. That's a lot of collecting coins. Dash from Dallas Flippin says, my biggest tip to anyone who's reselling is list the best stuff first. Small stuff comes and goes, but big ticket items go fast no matter the reason. I agree with that 100%. And I tell you what, this is my downfall right here is sometimes I will get stuff that I just don't want to list, but it does have a good sell-through rate, but it's not as high dollar as some of the other stuff that I already have. So I'll go straight to the big stuff, the high dollar stuff, the stuff that sells, and I will list that first and get that listed as quickly as possible. And then I end up with this pile of other things that I just didn't want to list sitting around the chair where I do my listing, and it turns into kind of a hoard. So yeah, that's that's my shame of the day. So Gumball Gold says, okay, let's see, we already said that one. And Rat Stash says, that's awesome, Gumball Gold. That is great that you're making that kind of money with gumballs. So let's see where my sales have been in the last 31 days. You guessed it, video games and video game consoles is at the top of my list. So as you all know who have been following me for any time, I bundle video games and video game consoles, and that's what I do for my listings, for a lot of my listings, the higher dollar items. So $2,240.98, and that's the video game consoles bundles that I do. And then the video games themselves, I've sold $459.71 in video games. And that is really due to one particular yard sale that I went to. They had about 20 or 15 or 20 really good GameCube games, and GameCube games are the best selling games. For some reason, people are just crazy about GameCube games, and I had some real heavy hitters in that yard sale that the guy sold me, and he basically sold them to me for practically nothing. I ended up with like 3 consoles. I had a Wii, I had a Xbox 360, not the slim version, but the big one that overheats all the time, and both of them worked. And then the other console that I had was a PlayStation 2 Slim. So I got all 3 of those for under $50 and the games. And I've already, on the games alone, I've already made about $400 on just the games. So another item that I really like is collectibles. This is specifically a military, World War II uniform that I had that was in mint condition. I mean, it was a mint uniform, and it sold for $292.44. But it had the pants, it had the jacket, it had the shirt, the tie, the belt, and the hat. Everything. It was a complete World War II officer's uniform. So that's why the collectibles for the World War II original period items is higher this time. Then jewelry and watches. I picked up some pretty decent watches in yard sales that turned out to have some good value, and so those have started to sell. And so I have $248.30, and that's in watches and parts, accessories. And then we have consumer electronics. That's portable audio headphones, $176.43. Clothing, shoes, and accessories, $139. Toys and hobbies, $122. That's action figures like G.I. Joes, Barbie dolls, and that sort of thing. Home and garden, heating, cooling, air quality, fan air purifier. That was an air purifier, $120.45. Collectibles, $117, and so on and so forth. So I've got cameras, home and garden again with cooling and air, sports memorabilia, health and beauty. That's a little bit of shaving and grooming kits, $72. Toys and hobbies, That's model railroads and trains, $61. Collectibles, that's the little ceramic villages, houses, $62.10. And then home and garden for holiday and season decor. So that's kind of an idea of, what I've been selling and what's been making money for me on eBay. Brent says he never sold on eBay but bought plenty. Well, Brent, it's never too late to get started. If you're interested, you can start with stuff around your house, and you can make a little bit of money. But like I said, one thing about eBay, if you're serious about making money with it, or if you're just trying to sell something you got in your house, just list it and sell it. But if you're serious about making money with it, it's going to be something that you're going to have to do every day. It's not a passive form of income. It's something that you have to work at. So Brent says he's looking for some GameCube games, but they're always so high priced. Well, just go to my eBay store, and I'll put the link in the description below. Just go to my eBay store and peruse the games and see if there's any that you like in there. So this is a kind of a breakdown of the last 31 days and my sales. You see I've had some pretty good days, and 1 or 2 days where there's just no sales. That's pretty consistent for me. October 20th, I had no sales. October 24th, I had no sales. So I had 2 days in the last 31 where I had no sales at all. And then today I had a banner day. Today I've had $534.18 in sales. It's up 264% over this time last year. So that is a really great day for me. 530. I don't remember the last time I had a $500 day. It's been more than 30 days, I know that, but I've been averaging about $150, $170 a day, and I've had a couple of 200. There's a $427 day. That was November 6th, so that was Wednesday. And so, they're averaging about 250, 230 here for the week. And so it's keeping me, I've done in the last 7 days, I've done close to $2,000 in sales, which, I'm not going to complain about that one little bit. As long as that keeps up, I'll be a happy camper. But, that's fourth quarter for you. When you get into fourth quarter, you're going to start seeing higher sales. So I'm going to share with you guys a couple of items that I've been selling recently. This is my listings for today. This SodaStream Spirit One Touch. I bought it for $20 at the local thrift store, and this soda machine came with a couple of the canisters of the syrup that you're supposed to use with them, and so I thought I'd be a good steward and test it out. And so I fizzed up some water and made it into soda, and I put some of that stuff in there, and it was bad. And I think I made myself sick because I drank a little bit of it, and it was pina colada mix that you're supposed to put in there to make like a pina colada soda. And I think I made myself sick drinking it. So I should not have drinking that. Oh my goodness, look at the Rat Stash. They said they had 9 sales today for $522.17. That is amazing. What did you guys do to increase your sales? And Reselling with Woody says eBay is definitely a job. You can't treat it any different, or it's just a pastime. Wish everyone that's serious luck with their endeavor. Thank you, Woody, for that comment. But, some people are just doing it to get rid of stuff around their house. They're not taking it very seriously. And for the first year that I was selling on eBay, I really didn't take it very seriously. But when I started seeing how profitable it could be, then it's addictive. I mean, I have to go to Resellers Anonymous just to get this this out of my system. I have track marks all up and down my arm from where I've been buying at yard sales. It's just ridiculous. So this is what I've been listing. I listed a GameCube game. It's a Fantastic Four game. It was complete in the box. But you can see my bread and butter right here is video game consoles. And so that's one thing that I kind of specialize in. That's something that I have seen really good money, especially in the fourth quarter, because people are buying Christmas gifts for their friends and family. But you can see I've got two Xbox Slim bundles here that I have listed, that I listed today. And I have the PlayStation 2 Slim bundle that I also listed. Now, yesterday I listed two of the Sony PlayStation 3 80 gigabyte, the big fat consoles, and one of them has already sold within 24 hours for $130.50. So that was one of my sales that I got in the last 24 hours. But I also listed a couple of these PlayStation 3 Slims bundles, and these slim bundles, they just don't sell as quickly as the fat bundles. For some reason, people just go gaga goo goo over these fat PlayStation 2 bundles. They love these fat PlayStation 3. I'm sorry, I said 2. These fat PlayStation 3s. So that's what they're going for. These fat PlayStation 3s. I've also listed a Sony Trinitron CRT TV. And it is a retro TV. Let me show you this real quick. I picked this up at a yard sale for like $20. And this is just a basic CRT TV. And I put Mario Brothers Duck Hunt on it to sell it. This is a trick I learned from Dash. Thanks, Dash. Good idea. So I also did a video. I'll show you the video. I just hope that people who are watching this, who are not familiar with CRT TVs, understand that when you video a CRT TV, or if you take pictures of it, it's going to have these lines across the screen, and it's not going to be very clear. But people are buying these CRT TVs so they can play the Mario Brothers Duck Hunt on these TVs. For some reason, it's going a bit slow. So I'm going to stop this. And go back to the share tab. So yeah, these are the things that I've been listing, and I've also been ending and selling similar. This is a tip that I was already doing before Chad mentioned it, but I was already going to my items that were ending that day, and I would end them, the ones that didn't have watchers, and then I would sell similar. But what I have found is that like if you go to your end and sell similar every day, what's ending that day, you can have as many as 100 items that are ending. And so what I've been doing is I've gone ahead and ended those items. I have sold similar, relisted them under sell similar, and then, gone out and taken them off of my ended items to make sure they don't get listed again. But this is another thing that I think has really helped my sales, is ending and selling similar on a daily basis. This is something that Chad was talking about on Wolfman Goodies. He said that a lot of his sales come from ending and selling similar. So, Chad talks about that you come to my channel to learn a whole bunch of stuff, but I've been learning a lot from Chad. He's shared a lot of information that is really helpful on his channel that has helped my store improve. So we all help each other out, right? But ending and selling similar, that's one of the tricks that that I have shared with Renee and Todd with Rat Stash, is to end every day and sell similar. And so it kind of tricks the algorithm into thinking that you have listed more items than you've actually listed. And that's what I've been doing. It really has helped my store. So that was a good tip. So if you're not doing that, I suggest that you do that. What he says, he has one of those TVs, just hasn't listed it. Yeah, they're selling pretty good for pretty good money. Actually more money than they originally sold for, because people are trying to get them because they want to be able to play those retro games on those retro TVs. Yeah, they should know how retro TVs look, but no, they don't. Heavy is the head who wears the crown. That is true. Reselling with Woody. I nuke my whole store twice a month, pull the store to 0 items ended, and then sell similar. Be careful or you can mess up. I don't think I could do that, Woody. I've got 2,600 items in my store. That would be so confusing for me. I think I would really mess that one up. How many items do you have in your store, Woody? Just curious. Rat stash. Okay, guys, we have to go. We're leaving the restaurant now, and it's raining here. Everyone have a great night. See you tomorrow at 8 p.m. at our live show. Yes, be sure and join Renee and Todd with Rat's Stash tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Central Standard Time. They will be, 8 o'clock Eastern Time, which is 7 o'clock Central Standard Time. They will be doing a live show tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time, and they have a really good live show as well. So be sure and join them tomorrow night at 8 o'clock Eastern Time and 7 o'clock Central Time. So I have spent a lot of time tonight talking about other things besides what has sold, but I will share a few of the items that have sold in my store recently. Like I said, today was a really good day. Woody says he has around 700 active listings. Yeah, I've got 2,600 active listings, and I think I would really screw up if I tried to nuke my store like that. But I bet you have a really high sell-through rate, Woody. I bet you're selling at least 2 or 3 items a day, which I'm selling about 2 or 3 or 4 items a day myself. So, that if I've got 2,600 items and you've got 700 and you're selling the same amount as I am, then you have a much better sell-through rate than I do. But this sold today. It was a North Face green zip front jacket, size large, for $33.29. And I also sold a couple of video game consoles. I think for the sake of saving time, because we're already at 47 minutes and 48 minutes, I'm just going to kind of scroll through these and just, instead of going into each one of them, is just kind of talk about them as I go through so I can go a little bit faster and we won't go over time tonight. But I sold this vintage original NES console with Mario Brothers, Duck Hunt, and the Zapper. And this is how I list these these NESs whenever I run across them. And almost all of these NESs I bought were yellowed, and I took them outside and did the retro bright process with them. And if you haven't seen my retro bright process video, I have a video on my eBay, my YouTube, of how to retro bright, and it's really easy and very effective. All you need are some 2-gallon Ziploc bags, some peroxide, and a little air gun. That's all you need, and you can retro bright just like the pros. But anyway, that vintage NES console with the Mario Brothers and Duck Hunt sold for $130.50. This Super Nintendo Entertainment System, this is an original Super Nintendo Entertainment System. And by the way, this NES, I probably have about $45 into it, because I buy the consoles off of eBay for parts or repairs, and then I change the 72 pin connectors and clean them up and refurbish them, and then I put some controllers and all the stuff that goes with it. So I have to source those as well. So I've got about $45 into that bundle. This bundle right here with the Super NES, I have found a couple of NESs at yard sales recently, which has been pretty good. I've been lucky in that way. But I also had a local thrift store that had a bunch of broken consoles that they were willing to sell me, and they sold them to me for $20 each. And so with these NES, Super NES consoles, I usually put one game with it, and that one sold for $139.50. If you run across those Super NES consoles or the NES consoles, they're really highly sought after. People are really trying to get those that want to do vintage gaming, and they want those vintage game consoles, just like this one right here, the Sony PlayStation 3 Fat. This is the one I sold, and these are all items that sold today. I sold 3 consoles. This is almost unheard of. The NES, the Super NES, and the Sony PlayStation 3 Fat all sold today. So that one sold for $130.50. This Troll Pop'ems, this is like a little thing that kids can make bracelets out of. I picked up about maybe 30 of these at our local thrift store called Adullam House, and they were like $1.50 a pack, and so I'm selling them for about $8.99 a pack. And what I do is I put everything I mentioned to Chad in his live stream tonight, that I put everything in my store on 10% off discount at all times, but I also price everything about 10% higher than what it should be. So whatever sold comps are, I usually price everything about 10% higher than that. And so when it is actually goes up with the 10% off, it's actually more in line with what the actual sold comps are for that item. But people think they're getting a good deal, so they will go for the 10% off before they'll go for the one that's regularly priced for that. So that's a strategy that has worked for me, and I'm not saying it will work for you, but it has worked for me, and it's done pretty good. When my 10% off promotion, if I ever forget to reset it and it goes off, I see my sales drop dramatically immediately. My sales just completely drop off the map. So that 10%, I know for a fact, having that 10% off on everything in my store has really helped me with my sales. So if you're looking at something to boost your sales, now if you've already got your stuff priced either at or below the regular sales, the regular comp prices, then that might hurt you to go 10% on everything. So you kind of have to price your stuff a little bit higher if you're going to use this strategy. It does work for me anyway. So that's what I've been doing. Reselling with Woody says, I'm always looking to purchase gaming items. Hit me up. I'm not paying retail, but would make you a fair offer. I'm a reseller. LOL. Yeah. There's a guy on YouTube. I don't know if you've watched him or not. His channel name is Chase After the Right Price. The guy's name is Chase. And they call the channel the Caterpie Crew. That stands for Chase After the Right Price. And this guy, I mean, he buys a lot of different things, but he focuses mainly on video games and video game consoles. And he kind of taught me a strategy that I use at yard sales, whether they have them out or not. I always ask, do you have video games, or do you have video game consoles that you'd be willing to sell? And I have found a lot of video games, a lot of video game consoles, like the one who sold me the 3 video game consoles and the GameCube games that I have made really good money on. They were not sitting out on a table. They were inside the house. And I just happened to mention, hey, do you have any video games or any video game consoles inside that you wouldn't mind selling? They were like, oh yeah, we do have stuff. And so they go in and grab it and come back out. And then I made a purchase. Reselling with Woody says he runs 10% coupon on store wide. Yeah, that's what I do. I do 10%. No, you do a coupon. I don't do coupons, so I take that back. I do not do coupons. I just do 10% off on everything in the store. And then when I send out offers, I take another 5% off. So I'm actually taking 15% off of everything in my store after it's already set at 10%, and then somebody watches it, and so I send that offer with another 5% off. So they think that they're getting 15% off now. But then when they buy it with the 15% off of what it would have been normally would have been 10% off, I'm still able to make a little bit of money on the shipping, which is good. So that works out. So I also sold a vintage Light Bright 1978 toy Light Bright in the box, and it still had the sheets with it, as well as the little pins that go into the Light Bright that make it light up. My sweet, wonderful wife, Carol, picked that up when I was in Pennsylvania at a yard sale and brought it home. And so when I got home, I listed it, and it sold pretty quickly. And she actually got that for free. The person at the yard sale gave it to her. They said they didn't want it. For some reason, they gave it to her for free. But so that was $26.10 in pure profit. Picked up this Nintendo Game Boy digital wristwatch, and this looks like a little Game Boy. I'll go ahead and enlarge this one so you can kind of see what it looks like. But this looks like an original Game Boy, and it's a wristwatch. I thought it was the neatest thing since sliced bread. It has sat in my store for a little while, and I thought I had it very reasonably priced at $26, or actually it was originally $29.99. But you can see here, it looks like a little Game Boy. It looks exactly like a Nintendo Game Boy, and it's a wristwatch. So so that sold. It's been sitting in my store for a little while. I picked it up at a yard sale for like $2. So I don't have very much money into it, and made a pretty decent profit on it. I sold some audiobooks called The Law of Attraction. Actually, this is one audiobook. It's got several discs with it for $11.69. I bought this in a box of audiobooks, and PC games. The whole box cost me about $25. There were probably about 60 different audiobooks and PC games in the box. So I have very little money into it. So $11.69, to me, that was a good price. Also sold this Sega Genesis Model 1 console. I've had this in my store for some time now. It sold on the 8th. So this bundle has been in my store for quite a while. The Model 1 Sega Genesis and the Model 2, they've kind of dropped off the map as far as sales go for me. I haven't seen a whole lot of sales with that kind of item recently. So Chris Easy Pickin' fixing to send me 200 Atari cartridges. Wow, that's good. What kind of price is he asking for those? I sold a Outfitters Ridge Realtree Hardwood Men's Camouflage Hunting Pants. I picked these up at a yard sale for about $3. They sold for $22.50. I've been selling a couple of clothing items here recently. That's not one of my biggest sellers, but I have been selling some here in the very recent past. Sold a PS4 game called South Park: The Fractured But Whole, and this was in a steel case, and it sold for $22.50. Now, I will sell individual games if I know that they have some value. I won't bundle them up with my game consoles. I will sell them individually. So sold a Tony Lama's men's Western cowboy boots, size 9EE, for $58.49. I picked those up in a yard sale for $5. So reselling with Woody says I'll pay him back what he paid. Okay. So it sounds like you're both going to be coming out pretty good, or maybe he's just doing a deal for you to help you out. Sold a Nintendo Wii U. This is an 8 gigabyte handheld system. Now, this is an interesting story I'm going to tell you about this Wii U. One of my friends who I have been talking to in the thrift store, we kind of, you know, collaborate a little bit and talk back and forth. He said, "Hey, there's this yard sale. They've got three consoles, and they want $100 for them, and one of them is a Wii U." And so I went out there and I picked up the three consoles. One was a Wii U, one was an Xbox One, and another one was a Xbox 360 Slim. So I get them home, and not a single one of these consoles are working, except this Wii U. It turns on, and the gamepad also turns on and works, but the disk drive does not work. So I go on to Amazon and I order a replacement disk drive, and I watch a YouTube video on how to disassemble the Wii U and how to replace the disk drive. And so I took the Wii U completely apart, replaced the disk drive, put it back in, and it was working perfectly. So I was able to sell this, even though I ended up paying $75 for all three of the consoles. They had controllers and cords with them, so it wasn't a total loss. And so it's average about $25 per console. So I sold this one for $140. I put a couple of games with it. And so I think I was able to make my money back and then a little bit more. So I was able to recover from that. So sometimes when you're buying video game consoles, you're taking a crapshoot, especially if you're buying at yard sales and they don't know if they work or not. It's just a crapshoot. You may or may not get a working console, but that's where I like to tinker with them and see if I can get them working again. And I really get a lot of enjoyment out of repairing these consoles and making them work again, keeping them out of the landfill. This is a CD that I sold for $11.25. We bought a whole box of them for about $10, and we're just I finally got them all listed, and they didn't have these jewel cases, so I had to buy the jewel cases. So I finally got them all listed, and once they all sell, which there's probably about 100 of them, they'll probably bring in about $400, $450, or $500. So it was worth the time and effort, but it's going to be a little bit at a time until I get all of it back. Sold another Sony PlayStation 3 Fat for $123. This is the Fat bundle sold, and it had a couple of games with it as well. So also, when I was in Pennsylvania at Jake's Flea Market, I picked up this Nintendo DS Lite console in the box, and as you can see, Todd and Renee, it's already sold for $112.50. I paid $160 for the whole box, and there were about 70 DS and DS Lite and other kinds of games in the box for DS. In there was about 70 of those games, and then there was 2 of these DS Lites in the box, and I think there was one outside of the box. So I'm pretty sure I will be able to make my money back and then some on those. And I also sold another one out of that same box, this white DS. This is the other one that was in a box in that lot that I bought from Jake's Flea Market. It sold for $80.50. So like I said, I have $160 into the whole box. I've already made back my money for the whole box, and I still have at least 70 DS games in the boxes, like new condition, to sell. So that turned out to be a really good purchase. I sold this pair of scrub pants for $17.99. Dragon Ball Z cup for $17.99. This one is color changing, so apparently when you put hot drink in, the color of the mug changes. And I'm going to tell you a couple more of the items that I've sold, and then I'm going to call it a night because it is already over an hour that I have been on here. And Beard King Picker, welcome. Welcome. Good to see you on here, man. This guy has no idea what just happened to his chat. What happened to my chat? Uh-oh, what happened to my chat? Where's the crew? Okay. Wait a minute. Chris, let's see. Reselling with Woody. Woody sent me here. Well, welcome, Beard King Picker. Good to see you here. Alex, sup? I can't do electronics. Don't buy like buying projects that need to be fixed. Well, I like to do that. That's one of my things that I like to do. Where's the crew? LOL. Beard King Picker, but great profits for sure. He's doing pretty good. Let's see. Lucas, Lux Garage, Woody, Alex. Okay, Lux Garage. Good to see you on here. Jason. Well, here comes trouble. Okay, looks like we've got Chad's crew on here. Good to see you guys. I'm glad you joined me tonight. No, you're right. I didn't. I had no idea what happened to my chat. But this Nintendo 3DS Aqua Blue Teal sold for $130.50. It didn't have any games. I bought this on an ask at a yard sale. Stopped at this yard sale not this past Saturday, not yesterday, but a week ago, a week from Saturday. And I asked the guy, I said, "Hey, do you have any video games or video game consoles?" And he said, "Yeah, I have this Nintendo 3DS, and I'm willing to sell it for $60." And I said, "Okay, I'll take it." So I picked up that 3DS, and it sold really quickly. It was a good buy and a good sell. So if you can get any of those 3DSs and you can get them fairly cheaply, then I suggest that you get them because they're good for selling. Jack LaLanne's Power Juicer with manual. So for $54, don't buy these things. This thing's been sitting in my store for real. This thing has been sitting in my store for 2 years. 2 years it's been sitting in my store. It's been sitting in my store so long I don't even remember what I paid for it, but I would imagine it would be somewhere around the $20 range. But it sold for $54.00. This Nintendo Game Boy Advance, this is a clear glacier video game console. It didn't have the back battery cover when I bought it. I bought this with that other set of consoles that I bought. This was kind of a throw-in, where the one that had the GameCube games. So this was kind of a throw-in. So this one sold for $74.69. So don't sleep on those Nintendo Game Boy Advances. They're really good. And I'm going to stop here with Mr. Christmas. This was a item that I purchased. I was with Todd when I bought this, Todd from Rat's Stash. And I'm going to go ahead and open this up so you can see what it looked like. But this was a Big Top Circus, and it's Mr. Christmas, and it plays Christmas music. And it's a Big Top. Let me play it for you real quick. So if you're not putting videos with your listings, I highly suggest that you do that, because I think that this video helped me to sell this item. And the videos that I have put on my listings have really increased my sales. I'm going to stop that there. So that's the video thing that you can do on your listings. Guys, if you're not doing videos on your listing, consider doing it, especially if you have electronic items, because it has really helped me with selling on eBay. I have sold a lot of stuff, I think, a lot quicker when I make a video. And I even sold a high-end watch. It was a real high dollar watch, a $450 watch. Now, it's not an electronic item, but I was able to take a nice video of the watch and just show it on the camera that it wasn't scratched and that it was running properly. And that helped me to sell that watch. So if you're not doing videos with your listings, I suggest that you go ahead and do that. So now you have heard of me, Beard King Picker. It's good to see you. Never done a video on an item before. It's worth it to try it. Now, I did run into a little bit of complications when it came to downloading my video, because I take all my pictures with my cell phone. How many of you use your cell phones for taking pictures for your listings? I take all my pictures on my listings with a cell phone. I don't use a camera at all. So I have run into a little bit of issues when I take videos on my cell phone, because I have the iPhone, the newest version. I think it's a 15, and it takes really good video, but it will not download onto my laptop. For some reason, I can't just plug it right into my laptop to download pictures and videos. So what I ended up having to do is I had to buy some storage on iCloud. And so what I do is I go to iCloud on my computer and I download it from iCloud onto my computer, and then I put the video onto eBay through that way. So it has worked for me that way. And I tell you, it's been a game changer. If you're not doing it, consider putting videos on your listings. You have to do vids on the computer. Doesn't work on the phone. At least that's what I think. Okay. Yep. Only use my phone. I do everything on my phone, including YouTube. Yep. I do everything on my phone, including YouTube as well. Beard King Picker, I think I am subscribed to you. I know I'm subscribed to Reselling with Woody. But for the other guys and gals who are on here tonight, if you are not subscribed to Beard King Picker or Reselling with Woody, then I suggest you go to their site and subscribe to them. Also, go to Dallas Flippin'. He has a flip of the week that he puts out about every week. So he has some really good videos that he puts out. And then Rat Stash, come back and see them tomorrow night. Their live stream is going to be tomorrow at 7 Central and 8 o'clock Eastern Time. So Beard King Picker says, do you even YouTube anymore, Woody? Okay. So anyway, guys, it has been a pleasure to have you guys on my live stream tonight. I appreciate you joining me, coming over from Chad's channel. Not for a minute, Alex. Family problems. Okay. So I do a live stream. If you're new to my channel and you're not familiar with me, I do a live stream every Sunday at 7 o'clock Central Time and 8 o'clock Eastern Time. It was 6:30, but I decided to change it to 7 o'clock, and that seems to be working better with some people who have evening church services. So be sure and come back and join me on next week's live stream. And if you don't, I usually have a live stream. I didn't have a live stream last Sunday because I was actually sick. I didn't even go to church last Sunday because I was so sick. But I am feeling much better now. I still have a little bit of a cough, but I was really sick for a few days there. And so I couldn't do my live stream last Sunday. But I will always, if you hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when I'm going to be doing a live stream, and you will be able to see what time it'll be and when it'll be. So I will always try to do it on Sundays, but if you don't see that on there by Saturday evening or Sunday morning, then that usually means that I'm probably not going to have a live stream. But it was a pleasure having the live stream tonight. I'm glad that you all were able to join us tonight. I want to thank CG, anime fan, Gumball Gold, Brent Mania. Brent, I'm going to go and check out your videos or your video, and don't quit. Keep putting up videos. Make another one. And CG, I am subscribed to you, and I still have your book too. CG is an author. And I will see you guys next week. Thank you all for coming, and take care. Have a good evening, and we'll see you on the next one. Love you guys. Bye-bye.